When I wrote it out to kill the careers of the people I was talking about, right?
Before I begin into trashing Diddy, I'm going to acknowledge him on this.
In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show. Already had his deals when he got here.
So, if you've been following Katt Williams' jaw-dropping interviews and that absolutely iconic Club Shay Shay podcast episode with Shannon Sharpe from January 2024, you already know things got heated. And honey, when they started talking about P. Diddy, who by the way ended up behind bars this year, Katt was dropping bombs left and right. You could tell he was sitting on some serious dirt, and now he's set his sights on exposing none other than Kevin Hart.
The comic I'm talking about knows that I know your real story. I'ma tell this.
Y'all, the tea is scalding hot because Katt Williams just did this interview where he straight up claimed he could end careers in this industry. Can you believe the audacity? He's basically saying he's got more dirt on these celebrities than anyone else, and honestly, his fans are eating it up. And let's be real, this isn't the first time he's come for Kevin Hart. During that Club Shay Shay interview, Katt was throwing shade like it was his job. Fast forward to now, and everyone's looking back at 2024's most explosive moments. Get this, 10 whole months and a whopping 83 million YouTube views later, Katt Williams dropped another bombshell. At New York Magazine's Vulture Festival, he spilled that there was even more tea he didn't share during that viral Club Shay Shay moment with Shannon Sharpe. The 53-year-old comedian was not holding back when he started calling out the biggest names in comedy: Kevin Hart, Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey, and Rickey Smiley.
When I wrote it out to kill the careers of the people I was talking about, right?
Would you believe Katt admitted he had actually written out career-ending exposés about these comedians? But here's the gag. He said it was so vicious that he only kept the jabs and erased the knockout punches. Like, imagine having that kind of power and holding back. He basically told these comics, I know your real story and you know I know it.
But I have figured out the algorithm mathematically, and I thought that I could show that. And I wrote it out to...
Now everyone's dying to know, who is Katt really talking about? What's this explosive story he's keeping under wraps from that Shannon Sharpe show? The suspense is killing us. And let me tell you about Kevin Hart, who's been Hollywood's golden boy for years. He's been everywhere, killing it in stand-up, starring in blockbusters, and building this massive social media empire that just won't quit. Just when you thought things couldn't get more interesting, Kevin teams up with Chris Rock for this documentary called Kevin Hart and Chris Rock, Headliners Only. But honey, that's when the drama really started heating up, because Katt Williams dropped this wild bomb claiming Kevin isn't just your regular comedy superstar, he's supposedly an industry plant. For those not in the know, that's what people call artists who've been secretly backed by big industry players to become stars. But wait, it gets even juicier. Katt didn't just stop at Kevin. He somehow connected all of this back to Diddy, weaving this crazy web about power plays and behind-the-scenes manipulation in Hollywood. During that explosive Club Shay Shay podcast, Katt spilled some serious tea, saying nobody, and I mean nobody, in Hollywood can remember ever seeing a sold-out Kevin Hart show back in the day. No lines, no standing ovations, nothing. And get this, Katt pointed out something that had everyone's jaws on the floor. He was like, have we ever heard of a comedian who just landed in LA and immediately got their own network sitcom and a leading role in Soul Plane? The shade of it all.
A movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is?
Katt wasn't done though. He came with receipts, pointing out how Kevin's own documentary with Chris Rock shows his comedy roots on the East Coast. So Katt's like, make it make sense. How was he supposedly grinding in LA at the same time?
His documentary with Chris Rock, where he shows you that his whole upbringing in comedy was on the East Coast.
Yeah, it was.
So how simultaneously was he here in Los Angeles?
Now here's where things get really spicy. Katt dropped this bomb claiming that a bunch of Kevin Hart's roles were actually supposed to be his first. But apparently these roles got handed to Kevin because Katt wouldn't budge on certain scenes in the scripts. Can you believe the nerve? Our Friday After Next star Katt Williams was spilling all the tea, but let me tell you, it didn't exactly go over well with Kevin Hart. But here's what's fascinating. Kevin's response was ice cold. While Katt was out here throwing shots at everyone from Michael Blackson to Cedric the Entertainer, who by the way, went off on social media, Kevin kept it surprisingly chill. He hit X with this super casual post that read, "Got to get that anger up out of Champ. It's honestly sad. In the meantime, please enjoy my movie trailer for my next film, Lift, dropping dropping on Netflix in 8 days. And then he had the audacity to throw in this little joke about a moment in the trailer where Gugu Mbatha-Raw says, "They really love you," saying he now knows she was talking about Katt. The shade of it all. But hold on to your seats because this story takes an even darker turn. While Kevin might have brushed off those industry plant rumors at first, things got real messy when those allegations about his friend Diddy started making headlines. Suddenly, people started wondering if maybe, just maybe, Katt Williams had been right all along. I mean, think about it. Katt's been out here exposing things about Hollywood that most celebrities wouldn't dare to whisper about. And after Diddy ended up in jail, people started looking at Katt different, like maybe this man really does know what he's talking about. Now everyone's freaking out about these new comments where he's claiming he could end careers, like what secrets is he sitting on? What could be so explosive that it could ruin these A-listers' reputations? The theories just keep getting wilder. With Diddy's arrest, the internet has been exploding with conspiracy theories, and Katt just added more fuel to this already raging fire when he claimed he's got career-ending knowledge. But the plot thickens even more with Tony Busby entering the chat. You know, that lawyer who's famous for filing those eyebrow-raising lawsuits against black male celebrities? Just last week, Tony dropped this bombshell demand letter targeting one of the biggest black male celebrities in the entertainment world. The accusations? Let's just say they're beyond shocking. Allegedly, both men and women at Diddy's parties. The fans are literally losing their minds trying to figure out who this mystery A-lister could be. Here's where it gets even more dramatic. Tony Busby offered his clients this multi-million-dollar hush money deal to keep this megastar's name out of the headlines. But honey, this black legend, who's being kept anonymous as John Doe, wasn't having any of it. Instead, they turned around and sued Tony, claiming he was trying to extort this ridiculous amount of money with these wildly false and horrific allegations. But Tony, he is not backing down. He's actually threatening to drop this demand letter on Instagram and expose this celebrity's identity. He came out swinging with this statement: "We won't allow the powerful and their high-dollar lawyers to intimidate or silence survivors. And when their professional efforts at resolution didn't work out, he's ready to put it all out there." Now get this, the lawsuit was filed by Quinn Emanuel, one of those super expensive, high-powered law firms that represents basically every A-lister you can think of. While Katt's keeping his lips sealed about names, fans are going wild with theories that the actor he's been hinting at could be Kevin Hart. And if you thought that was all, just wait until you hear this. There's all this old footage and videos surfacing of Diddy and Kevin Hart partying together, and let me tell you, it's making people look at everything differently. Now, we have to be clear. There's nothing official confirming these fan theories, but the internet is absolutely buzzing with speculation. A video that's got everyone talking just resurfaced showing Kevin Hart and Sean Combs living it up together years ago. They were basically besties back then, and there's plenty of footage to prove it. But now, Kevin seems to be trying to put as much distance as possible between himself and Combs, which honestly isn't shocking given all the legal drama Combs is wrapped up in.
Before I begin into trashing Diddy, I'm going to acknowledge him on this.
Let me break this down for you. Combs is facing these serious charges of racketeering, and if he's found guilty, he could spend the rest of his life in prison. Of course, he's pleading not guilty, and his lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, is fighting hard to maintain his innocence. For those who might not know the full story, Sean Combs has been this huge figure in the public eye for over 25 years. We're talking billionaire status, rubbing shoulders with literally everyone who's anyone. But now, everything's falling apart. These videos and photos are coming out showing these wild parties with scantily clad women in hotel bathtubs, champagne flowing everywhere, and it's painting a pretty disturbing picture, especially with all these allegations about freak-offs and people being parties mentioned in those civil suits and federal indictments. Now, nobody's proven Combs guilty of anything yet, but these old clips, they're making everyone look twice at everything. A video that's going absolutely viral right now shows Kevin Hart hosting this lavish party for Diddy's album release. We're talking about Last Train to Paris by Dirty Money back in December 2010. This wasn't just any party. This was at some fancy hotel in New York, and get this, Kevin Hart is literally perched on the edge of a hot tub surrounded by women. Talk about awkward timing with everything that's coming out about Combs now.
Hey, yo, can you move out the way? I want to give you a proper introduction. Go get some girls. Go get some.
The timing of this footage resurfacing couldn't be worse, especially with all these serious legal battles Combs is dealing with. It's like every single connection to Combs is being put under a microscope, and people are seeing things in a whole new light.
I'm used to this type of thing. Doing what I do best. Oh! Did the camera catch that? Got the camera!
And Kevin Hart's fans? They are not staying quiet. Social media is absolutely exploding with demands for Kevin to address this resurfaced video and explain his relationship with Sean Combs. The pressure is building by the minute as this video keeps spreading like wildfire. Here's what's got everyone on the edge of their seats. If Katt Williams decides to drop even more of what he claims to know about these A-list actors, it could be absolute chaos in Hollywood. The industry is practically holding its breath, wondering what bombs Katt might drop next. Between the wild theories, the resurfaced videos, the legal drama, and Katt Williams sitting on what he claims is career-ending information, Hollywood is on pins and needles. Everyone's wondering, are these allegations against Kevin Hart actually true, or is this all just a bunch of wild conspiracy theories getting out of hand? The tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife, and with more evidence potentially coming out, this drama is far from over. What makes it even more intense is how everything seems to be connecting, from Katt's initial warnings to Diddy's arrest, and now all these old videos coming back to haunt Kevin Hart. It's like watching a Hollywood thriller unfold in real time, and nobody knows what bombshell might drop next. The fans are divided, the celebrities are nervous, and Katt Williams is out there somewhere, possibly holding on to even more explosive secrets that could shake Hollywood to its core. All we can do now is wait and see if he decides to reveal what he knows, or if these secrets will stay buried in the dark corners of Hollywood's elite circles. What do you think about all this drama? Could Katt Williams really have the power to end careers with what he knows? Are these just wild theories? Or is there more truth to this than anyone's ready to admit? The plot keeps thickening, and this Hollywood saga is definitely one for the books.